Okay, hello there. I hope you can already hear me, and I hope you can hear me well. Okay, a pleasant good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to this afternoon's live webinar session. So I'm back. I'm here again. I am Miss Annie Embalsado. I hope you still remember me. I was the one who spoke to you last time about the topic developing effective platforms for young learners using home-based activities and materials. That was last May 29, 2020. So it's my pleasure to be back here and spend more meaningful sessions with you through this live afternoon webinar session. Okay, so we're meeting. It's a few minutes after 2 o'clock, and the weather seemed to be very rainy. It's very rainy here in our place, and I believe somewhere in Manila, the rain is also very heavy. So just imagine our pillows and our blankets are almost inviting all of us for us to take a good afternoon power nap. But I simply ignore them because I know that my moment with you would be a more meaningful one. Okay, so with that, I promise I won't keep you long. I won't keep you for more than an hour. It could be less. Okay, so let's start our live webinar session. For this afternoon, our topic is about managing homeschool partnership in facilitating effective learning activities for young learners. So again, we have here the keywords homeschool partnership, effective learning activities, and young learners. Let me define to you what homeschool partnership is all about. Homeschool partnership is the two-way communication between school and home through which learning is the key goal. In this definition, I would like to emphasize partnership. In home-based learning, home and schools are partnered. Home and school are partners. Thus, parents and guardians at home are inevitably the vital and most important partners in education. In the old setup, or if we may call it the old normal, schools really encourage the involvement of parents in school. Parental involvement in school is defined as a parent reported participation at least once during the school year by attending general school meeting, attending scheduled parent-teacher conference, attending a school or a class event, or even volunteering in some school and serving as school committees. This time, however, we give a higher level of involvement to the parents or guardians at home by making them our partners. They are no longer involved, or they are not just involved, but they now become our partners. They are the vital link between home and school because of their influence, support, and their hold of their children's learning at home. Okay, when we talk of homeschool partnership, it has to be successful partnership. So what is successful partnership? Successful partnership means mutual participation by families or parents, and the school or the teachers. So, in this kind of partnership, the homeschool partnership, both parties must take responsibility to develop positive outcomes for children. So, each has a piece of the picture of the child's development, and each can be more effective when roles are acted upon. A lot of research shows that positive relationships between teachers and families helps create a supportive context, which allows parent and teacher partners to address the challenging behaviors of children should they arise. Thus, it is an important step in establishing a mutual understanding between parents and teachers. Homeschool partnership has a lot of benefits. The following are the benefits, the topmost benefits. First, we have academic achievement, teacher interaction, and parental participation. So let's discuss a little each kind of benefit. So its benefit as academic achievement. So while homeschool partnerships help teachers develop strong relationships with their students and motivate parents to cooperate with teachers, there are also studies that reveal its benefit to improve academic performance. As parents' involvement in school is undeniably beneficial to the learner's performance, the greater attention parents could give in this kind of activity is vital and could similarly lead to higher grades and test scores and better homework completion. Thus, students are likely to graduate and pursue higher education because their parents have taken an interest in their education and have served as role models. Being an educator for decades already, I could attest to this kind of benefit or to this kind of research result because a lot of my students back then who were really supported by their parents are now have landed, I mean, they now have landed in good jobs and they have amazing, successful careers. So I believe that most of you can also share on this appreciation. We just can't help but to be amazed and be proud of our erstwhile young students' success in life. Okay, so likewise, parents can also learn basic teaching concepts. They can learn with their children and get to know others while contributing to homeschool activities. Now, the next benefit is the teacher interactions. Getting to know the students' parents helps teachers understand the environment and economic, political, or cultural influences that shape the student's point of view and behavior. So this leads to improved interaction and communication between parents and teachers. Now, the families informing the teachers about some house rules can open an important dialogue about developmentally appropriate behavior, expectations for young children, and effective ways to encourage young children to follow the rules. So, this is an important step in establishing a mutual understanding between parents and teachers about the rules. Further, this dialogue allows opportunities to discuss similarities and differences between home and school rules. This allows the teachers and families to be as consistent as possible and to work together to help children navigate the expectations of the different environments. Open communication with families should occur regularly throughout the year, especially during this transition period. Now, we also have parental participation. Parents who get to know their students' teachers about the curricula and the teacher's educational methods are more likely than those who do not to help children with homework and ensure its completion. This scenario is more likely to happen during this home-based learning activity. Schools encourage parental attendance and interest in participating in other usual activities, collaborations, and conferences to really strengthen the bonds between parents and children. This interaction may be provided for outside points of view on operations and policies, all aiming for the improvement of the activities and the teaching learning process itself. Now, if we have benefits, there are also challenges to this kind of activity. So generally, or topping the challenges are time, trust, expectation, and goals. So let's talk about the challenges. With ever increasing demands on both teachers and parents, there are many potential challenges or barriers to creating positive partnerships. And number one is time. Time. Time challenges for both parents and teachers can have a notable impact on opportunities for collaboration and relationship building. In the virtual school days, expect that limited opportunities for communication and discussion may be due to time. Expect that. Many parents work during school hours, even if they also work from home, and may be unable to attend all school home based activities. Likewise, teachers may be content with classroom based management, limited planning opportunities, and the demands of curriculum goals, leaving little time for dialogue with parents during school hours. Unfortunately, time should not be an enemy during this time of home based learning. Both parties should always find a way, and open communication will all help us find a way to make time our friend. The next challenge is the challenge on trust. Trust is an element in developing positive relationships, especially between home and school. What could possibly hamper trust is or are the following. First, the limited opportunity to communicate. Second, it could be the negative past experiences. And third, it could be the tendency for communication to be initiated in times of student stress, which can lead to distrust on the part of both parents and teachers. So, when trust is limited, there may be a tendency to focus on blame without attribution of the child's challenge to either home or school factors, which negatively impacts on attempts at collaboration. Okay. Now, the other challenge is the expectation and goals. The different expectations and goals and the difference in the expectations and goals between home and school. So parents and teachers may have different expectations and goals for a student. Parents and teachers have different experiences of a child and see the child's learning and behavior in two different contexts. Remember, we will now be facing two different contexts, and those two are the home context and the school context. So, for example, in our class in the old normal, there were instances when highly energetic and creative learners who can move quickly between tasks may add fun and excitement to life at home, but may be a challenge in the classroom, where he or she is expected to attend, to sit still, and complete tasks. On the other hand, same is true to those learners who don't show much enthusiasm with activities when they are at home, but would show well when they are in school. So the best outcome for a student will result from honest sharing of information and mutual goal setting that recognizes the strengths, challenges, and personal motivations of the student. So it is in recognizing and addressing these barriers that parents and teachers can actively problem solve and develop strong and sustainable partnerships. So let us keep those challenges as just challenges and not obstacles. Because after all, it's Ray Davis who once quoted, a challenge only becomes an obstacle when you bow to it. So let's not bow to it. Let challenges remain as challenges. Let us not promote them to become obstacles. Let's keep a less stress free working, I mean teaching and learning environment. Now, how are we going to strengthen homeschool partnerships? There are a lot of ways by which we can strengthen home and school partnership. Okay, to top them all, we have to have healthy line of communication. We have to have healthy line of communication. So communication is the key. Not PM is the key. I joke. Communication is the key. Let's communicate whenever and however. Let's communicate whenever and however possible. Let's communicate openly and regularly. So this will help develop trusting, open, and supportive relationships. It is never too late for parents and teachers to openly state their intent to collaborate with one another. Stating a willingness to communicate and how best to communicate is an important first step. So, for example, try to read the lines here on screen. So this can be this can be used when you communicate to parents in order to promote healthy line of communication. So time can be presented as a significant communication barrier where opportunities for face-to-face interactions are limited. Parents and teachers can creatively work around such constraints and avail of many modes of communication, including phone calls, emails, video messages, or communication books. So let us not wait for challenges to arise in order to initiate communication. Let us share positive stories, events, and progress with one another and whenever possible. Okay, let's try to read these lines on screen. So, for example, to be able to communicate with parents. So, say, sir, if you have any concerns or observations about Rodrigo's learning, please let me know. I also work online during the day, but if you contact me by email, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Or if you want to share some fun stories or fun moments with or fun sessions with our students, we can say, so Lenny participated well today and joined in all their interests or the class interests. Or Cynthia really enjoyed the recent story about native Australian animals and benefited from watching the YouTube clips suggested. So there are a lot of ways by which we can all reach out to parents in order to strengthen our partnership. So, for parents whose children receive extra support for learning, extra support for learning, like if they have extra support from therapists, from guidance counselors, behavioral psychologists, okay, it is important to share relevant information among parties. It's very important to share information, relevant information to whoever will be the teacher of the child. Sharing information from one context, from the context of the psychologist, from the context of the therapist, from the context of the guidance counselor, allows all parties to make shared decisions, set shared goals, and use a shared language in best supporting the child or the learner. So don't deprive your teacher to be informed of whatever extra support you have to your child or to your children at home. Now, we also have to observe transparency and honesty. Open and honest communication is essential for trust, and it is the cornerstone of strong and effective partnerships between homes and schools. When parents and educators are honest about their concerns, their skills, and their need for support, expectations are made clear, and families and educators can work together in developing relevant and achievable goals. For parents, we suggest you being honest about your hopes and concerns, about your child's strengths and challenges, and your own challenges at home as well. This will help the teacher understand your child and identify the strategies and the supports that might set your child up for success. Okay. On the other hand, when teachers are transparent, honest, and respectful in their interactions, parents become more willing to engage in two-way communication. We suggest, or I suggest, that teachers highlight a child observed strengths and challenges early in the school year and provide clear examples for parents from the school setting or even during the virtual or online teaching and learning. When children have learning or behavioral challenges, we suggest that the teachers are honest with parents and even the school teams about their own strengths and limitations and seek necessary support. So remember that the schools are just physically closed, but schools are fully operational. So we can always reach out for extended help from the school's guidance counselors, the school's chaplain, or whoever is tasked to assist you when it comes to some concerns about your children at home. Again, schools are physically closed, but they are fully operational. Okay? We also have to model everything. Educators or we teachers are taught how to intentionally facilitate and support children's development in school. But teachers, let us bear in mind that parents do not have the same training or they did not have the same training as much as we had. So it can be difficult for parents, guardians, tutors, or even caregivers to understand how to frame or facilitate a learning activity effectively without concrete examples. So here, video examples are the most effective way to demonstrate hands-on learning. So what else can be done? There are a lot more that can be done. Like you can film yourself reading aloud and asking the kind of open-ended questions that you want the parents at home or the caregivers at home to ask during their own story time. You can also make a video of yourself writing and demonstrating phonetic spelling. You can set up an open-ended engineering challenge with everyday objects around your home and mess up a few times. You can model exploration, experimentation, and even failure as parts of the learning process to demonstrate to parents or to the caregivers at home that they don't need to have all the answers to be a fantastic teacher to their children or to the learners at home. We have to be direct also. Let's speak directly. to the parents, to the caregivers, in the videos and in the messages that we send to them. Let's explain the reasons behind the strategies that we use and provide specific prompts and questions that they can use when implementing those strategies with their children or with the learners at home. So, in the end, let's not forget to also acknowledge their effort. Let's acknowledge how difficult or challenging this kind of work is. And let's express our gratitude for their efforts and persistence. So we can provide tips for taking care of themselves during this time and the resources that they can use. And let them know you are there, or we teachers are there, or just behind them to support them all the way. Next, let's we also have to ensure equity. We have to ensure equity. We all hope that every family and every learner has access to required or needed gadget. But since the reality is that not every family is going to have access to the same technology or to the same time to devote to remote learning at home. So let us have provision for a system that allows families to access learning content on their schedules and even at their own pace. Let us be mindful of the at home activities you suggest and the required materials, since many families may not have access to or be able to purchase them right away. So let's have to ensure equity, especially during this time of transition period. Remember, we are transitioning from the old normal to the new normal. So let us all be considerate. So by now, when the enrollment season has already started, you probably know already how to best communicate with each family each day, hopefully, which could be through an email letter, a Google Classroom community, or any other classroom learning application. So let's always find a way to communicate to the parents and to the learners at home. Then we have to create a collaborative community. Let's always value collaboration. Homeschool collaboration is an important step in supporting a child's positive engagement in the learning and social aspects of school life. Parents and schools have a common goal to see children develop the skills for life and learning, to see children succeed, and most of all, to see the children happy. The goal of enhancing children's competence, participation, and positive learning and social behaviors cannot be achieved by teachers alone, and it requires partnership with families. So there's much research that suggests that homeschool collaboration has benefits for all. So what does research tell us about homeschool collaboration? So here are the benefits. Benefits for students: there's more positive attitudes towards school. There's an improved behavior. There's an increased homework completion, greater participation in activities, improved school or class attendance, higher academic achievement. Now, benefit for parents: it could give an enhanced parental confidence, more positive experiences with teachers and school, an improved communication with children, and increased confidence in the role of supporting homework completion. For the teachers, there's an increased job satisfaction, an improved communication and positive relationships with families, and increased confidence in management of behavioral and learning challenges. Developing effective partnerships across homes and schools first requires an understanding and belief that parents and teachers are doing the best they can within the constraints of policy, time, life demands, knowledge, experiences, and some personal or work-based resources. So in developing collaboration and positive partnership, families and educators work together as active and equal partners who share responsibility for learning of all students. Okay? Now, another is we have to have, in managing home learning activities, we have to ensure good health condition. Okay? Mental health is of paramount importance, especially these days. Remember, these days we are living through a slow motion collective trauma. Who can tell now that he or she is not fearful? Everybody can be fearsome. It's just that we parents or we adults, we don't show it right away to our students. But I believe there's still part of us that tells that what the things happening, the phenomenon happening around us these days can be so dramatic. If we can feel fearsome, how much more the children? So these days, there seems to be a recognition of people who are frequently checking in with each other and talking about isolation, emotions, and how we are all coping. There is an openness our society has resisted for decades. So this should continue no matter what school looks like in the future. In every staff meeting or virtual meeting or conferences, and with the introduction of each new structure or policy, we need to consider the mental health of each and every member of the family or each and every member of the community, each and every member of the institution we belong, and design environments and experiences that support their well being. We need to consider the mental health of everyone. During this pandemic, some students we do not know, some of them might have lost some family members or friends or people dear to them. Others may be experiencing economic instability. And now that students and all of us are living through this, we can't stop having conversations about hard and difficult things, about loss, about grief, about societal issues which are all very evident on televisions. We sometimes just can't hide them from the children, but they are all very evident on televisions, on social media. And this can always promote inequality, oppression, and a lot more emotional effects. So we have an opportunity to use this kind of partnership that we have to heal, and show that we can indeed have conversations, move through challenges, move all together through challenges, and come out the other side together, wearing happy faces. Okay, let's not promote complexity. Okay, instead, let's make teaching and learning less complicated by promoting fun. Okay, um, we also have to have, or we have to keep their love for learning alive. Let's keep our learners' love for learning alive. There are actually a lot of ways and suggestions to keep the learner's love for learning alive. To give you more substantial input on those strategies and activities, we shall set another webinar for that topic alone. there are a lot to talk about when we say that we want to keep passion for learning alive. So we decided that we'll set another webinar session for that topic alone. However, to give you an overarching view as to how to keep that passion for learning alive at home, here are some general tips or some common tips. First, families can build through their child's critical thinking and deduction skills through challenging games. Okay, actually, we have initially experimented some of this. These pictures that you see on screen are products of collaboration. We have initially experimented on this, and I believe these things are working out well at home. So families can build their children's critical thinking and deduction skills through a challenging games. Let the children discover about the function of an object, especially those which are found at home, what an object cannot do or does not do, and even the location of an object in the room or in the house or anywhere in the compound. And then parents and guardians can be storytellers and create compelling and suspenseful story of the top of their heads with no book to read from or paper to write it down on. So parents and guardians, you can be the best storytellers of all times. Children as well can be storytellers too. They can be actors by using different voices to take on each of the characters in the story, which can be provided by the teacher or you yourself has chosen at home. So families can challenge their children to be detectives around their home, searching for specific letters, numbers, shapes, and patterns that already exist all around them if they just pay close attention to those around them. Then we can send engineering and architecture challenges and encourage families to use items they already have around them to complete them. So it's also better if you can make a video of yourself using an assortment of materials to normalize this sort of learning for families. For writing and drawing activities, encourage free writing and drawing on blank paper. Some families may not have a supply of blank paper or writing materials, so be mindful of the frequency with which you suggest these activities. Prayers can also be taught, or whatever cultural beliefs you practice in the family, they can always be practiced during this homeschool partnership in education. So teachers may regularly provide positive feedback on the students' work and praise families' efforts in facilitating their child's learning. So be specific about the aspects of the facilitation, the children's open-ended and rigorous learning, and open examples of ways to push the child's thinking even further through additional questions, through additional activities, through additional exercises that you can send to the students or to the parents teaching them at home. So always provide this feedback to keep the learning going. This encourages families to continue their efforts while building your students' confidence and pride in all their achievements. So remote learning is not really new. Remote learning is not really new. It is not new to us educators. Its current facilitation, which is the opportunity for all educators to engage with families, which is done in a more intense and mandated manner, is what we may never have had the opportunity to do before. So this is the phenomenon that is new to us. That is the phenomenon that is new to us. Our young students must always be touching, feeling, doing, learning and exploring concepts for themselves. And they cannot do this at home without intentional facilitation and support.
Again, without intentional facilitation and support. Thus, we must shift our mindset from teaching our students to teaching both our students and their families. And I guess that is what all the educators these days should be talking about. Let's set, or I mean, let's shift our mindset from teaching our students to teaching both our students and their families. So let us make this homeschool partnership the stuff that really works. After all, it's Douglas Adams who once quoted, we are stuck with technology when what we really want is just stuff that works. And I guess this is it. Homeschool partnership is still a stuff that will I guess I believe this homeschool partnership is a stuff that will best work during this home based online teaching and learning. So there you have it, my fellow educators. It has been another wonderful live webinar with all of you, fellow educators, school administrators, and the increasing number of parent attendees to webinar. Thank you very much, parents. I believe you also have education students here and other guests and viewers from different parts of the Philippines, from Apari to Holo. Thank you very much for attending. And if we have viewers from outside the Philippines, you are always welcome to attend. So just before I end this session, allow me to share with you my self-composed poem for our topic for today. Since we focus on homeschool partnership, I entitled the poem School in Our House. So here's how my self-composed poem goes. I wonder why new posters are on our wall, so lovely and colorful, when mother began to install. There's board and desk in a narrow hall, there's paint and pen, and cheers for all. I asked my mom what are those for? She said, to school we'll go no more. I felt discomfort and was not at ease. My teachers and classmates I will really miss. I asked mom why schools have to be closed. She simply said, this time let me be your host. I may be not half as nice as your teachers seem to be, but I can also teach you math and history. Mother, my mother, I know you'll be great, but please at night don't keep me late. For tests and quizzes, let's just have a game. I won't complain if you'll challenge my brain. Mother, my mother, I know you'll be a great teacher. It would be fun in your class more than ever. You've always let me learn and you've always let me grow. But what struck me most is the love you always show. So although yesterday was Father's Day, yeah, let's greet all the kung may father po na siyang guardian sa bahay. Belated Happy Father's Day. I also dedicate this poem to you. Just replace all the words mother with father. So father, father, I know you'll be a great teacher. Okay, well for the mother, tapos ang day natin, but it's never too late to celebrate or to greet you. Well, let me just greet you. I love you all mothers. I'm a mother and I'm also a teacher. I love you all mothers and I love you all teachers. So I hope you like the poem. In case you have questions, I don't see the question box here. I'll just let the my virtual guardian angel again to keep them coming. So that's all for my presentation for this afternoon's webinar. The rain continued to get heavier and stronger, and I prefer it. I prefer feeling cold than to be sweating. So have a wonderful day, everyone. Chillax lang muna tayo, chillax lang. Mahaba-haba pa po yung presentations natin, ang webinar sessions natin. Keep on attending seminars. Maganda pong malay natin, ma-strengthen natin yung foundation natin before we face the final challenge when the school opens. So I was talking about earlier, research results earlier. So here are my references if you have time and would want to have further professional reading. These are the references, so you may take a shot of this of the screen. Kung type lang. And by the way, more specific details, tips, guides, and demonstrations will be provided. Kasi during webinar, it's like we are talking about general ideas. There are more specific details. There are more tips, more doable tips, more workable tips and guides, practical exercises, activities, and demonstrations that we will be providing you via YouTube. So I guess that will be aired beginning this afternoon or this evening, I guess, at 6 o'clock. Beginning 6 o'clock, Teacher Mom A on YouTube will always be available. And this YouTube will provide you with these details, more exercises, guides, and demonstrations. And it's done in a more homey manner, less formal. Kasi po pag webinar, medyo general na yung topic natin, which is also good. Dito sa YouTube, mas momshi to momshi. So it's just like we're inside the faculty room and we're exchanging ideas. Okay, we can always collaborate. So it's just like a to momshi talk, a teacher to mommy talk. So tipong ganun po ka-casual and ganun ka-homey ang presentation. So please, see you all again on YouTube with Teacher Mom A. Just type Teacher Mom A sa search. It will be available beginning this evening or tomorrow morning. Sunod-sunod na po yung mga activities doon. And take note, all activities, all exercises, and all that will be posted there are purely educational. Purely educational. At yun po lahat ay nanggaling lang sa DepEd CG and the DepEd's most essential skills. So, reliable, very reliable ang source natin dahil galing sa mother department, which is the Department of Education. So, I still do not see any question. So with that, allow me to thank once again my beloved school, De La Salipa, just as what St. John Baptist De La Salle said, for all that has been, thank you, Lord. For all that will be, yes, Lord. De La Salipa, please know that you will always be very, very special to me. I'm missing you all. Likewise, thank you so much, Vibal. Thank you so much, Vibal. You always provide avenues for teachers to gather together and really learn as one. Thank you very much, Lasal. Thank you very much, Vibal. So, just some photo credits. I told you, the photos that I'm showing you are already products of collaboration. Huwag niyo pong iisipin na anak ko sila lahat. I am a mother, but hindi po sila anak ko lahat. These are products of collaboration. We are already experimenting. So what I am presenting to you are already products of collaborations. So thank you very much, collaborators. They know who they are. So there we have, let's all stay home. It's home-based learning, home-based online learning. So let's stay home. Let's stay safe and virus-free. Stay healthy. Okay. Kian, no questions? I'm done with the presentation. Thank you all and God bless. God bless us. Take care po tayong lahat.